Here's a strange idea to sit with for a second. What if your body already manufactures its own repair compounds? Molecules so specific, so targeted that a pharmaceutical company would love to bottle them and sell them back to you. And what if those very same molecules had been effectively banned from the pharmacies that could make them safely? Now, that's not a hypothetical. Just a few days ago, at the time of filming this, July 23rd and 24th, 2026, an FDA advisory committee spent 2 days arguing about a handful of peptides with names like BPC 157, TB 500, and MOTS-C, compounds your own signaling systems are built around. And after years of restrictions that pushed them off the shelves, the committee voted to recommend loosening the rules. It's genuinely breaking news, and almost nobody is talking about what it means. So here's the hypothesis I want to test with you today: that your body manufactures its own pharmaceutical grade repair compounds, and that by reactivating these peptide pathways through targeted nutrition and, in some cases, carefully supervised protocols, you may be able to accelerate tissue healing, calm inflammation, and restore some hormonal balance, potentially within 6 to 8 weeks without a single synthetic drug. Big claim, let's see if it holds up. I'm Michael Bergman, and this is the Adaptive Physiology Strategy Series. If you've watched me before, you know the deal. I'm not here to lecture you or hand you a miracle cure. I've worked alongside researchers and doctors, including Dr. John Bergman, for years, actually decades. And the one thing I've learned is that the honest answer to most health questions starts with, it's complicated. So think of this less like a lecture and more like an investigation. We're going to look at what mainstream science says, what natural medicine practitioners say, where they agree and where they don't, and more importantly, where the whole thing gets murky. I don't have all the answers on peptides, nobody does yet. That's part of what makes this so interesting. Let's start with the basics, because peptide sounds like jargon, and it really isn't. A peptide is just a short chain of amino acids, the same building blocks that make up protein. If a protein is a long paragraph, a peptide is a short sentence, and your body makes thousands of them every single day as signaling molecules. They tell tissues to repair, they turn inflammation up or down, they help regulate hormones, they coordinate your immune system. They're basically your body's internal text messaging service. Now, a few specific peptides have become famous. BPC 157, it stands for Body Protection Compound. That's the big one. Its sequence was originally identified from a protective protein in human gastric juice in your stomach. In animal studies, and there are well over 100, it's shown remarkable results. TB 500 is a synthetic cousin of thymosin beta 4, a peptide your thymus and platelets naturally produce to help cells migrate to a wound and rebuild. And MOTS-C is made inside your mitochondria, your cellular power plants, and seems to regulate metabolism and, at least in animals, mimic some of the effects of exercise. Now here's where I have to be straight with you, because this is the nuance that gets lost. The animal research is genuinely impressive. The human research, very thin. For BPC 157, one systematic review through 2024 found 36 studies, and 35 of them were preclinical, meaning animal cells or cultures. Only one was human. There are a couple of tiny pilot trials with no control groups. Thymosin beta 4 has actually gone further into real phase 2 human trials for dry eye and heart attack recovery, and it's been well tolerated. But the TB 500 sold online is a different animal from those clinical formulations. So on one side you have functional medicine practitioners who've used these compounds for years and report real results. Faster recovery, less pain, better gut function. On the other, the FDA, whose career scientists looked at the same data and said, not enough rigorous human evidence, real concerns about immune reactions and purity, unknown long-term risks. Both can be true at once. That tension, clinical experience versus the gold standard trial, is the whole story. Which brings us to what happened. These peptides got pulled off the list of substances compounding pharmacies are legally allowed to make. Then, this July, that advisory committee voted on BPC 157, KPV, TB 500, MOTS C, CMAX, and Epitalon, to recommend putting most of them back. The FDA's own scientists had recommended against it. The committee overruled them. The votes were close and they're non-binding. The actual rulemaking could take a year or two, but the direction of travel just reversed. So why does something your body is built around end up banned in the first place? Here's a pattern worth noticing, and I want you to think about it critically rather than just take my word for it. Sound familiar? It's the same story we've seen with vitamins and other natural compounds for decades. The FDA has documented exactly this. So it's fair to ask, did the ban make people safer or did it push them somewhere more dangerous? And here's the part I find genuinely fascinating. BPC 157's sequence comes from a protein in your stomach. Thymosin beta 4 is released naturally when you injure yourself. Your mitochondria crank out MOTS C during exercise. These aren't alien chemicals, they're echoes of your own biology. Now, I want to be careful here. It's not proven that your body pumps out the exact synthetic BPC 157 peptide in meaningful amounts. But the deeper principle holds. Your body has an entire pharmaceutical factory built for repair. So maybe the smartest question isn't which peptide should I buy, but how do I get my own factory running better? Who do you trust when the career scientists and the political appointees disagree? When committee members have industry ties and when the molecule in question is one you're literally made of? I don't think there's a clean answer, but asking the question honestly is the whole point. So let's get practical because you can act on this today for free. The strategy is simple. Support your body's own peptide production instead of chasing a vial. First, fasting or time-restricted eating. When you compress your eating into an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours, your insulin drops and your growth hormone pulses rise. Now, I'll be honest, the research shows fasting doesn't magically flood you with IGF-1, and the peptide-specific effects are still speculative. But you're shifting your body into repair and recycle mode, which is exactly the terrain where healing signaling lives. Start gentle. Push breakfast a couple hours later. Close the kitchen after dinner. Second, feed the raw materials. Bone broth, collagen, and the amino acid glycine are the literal building blocks your body uses to make repair peptides. Human trials on hydrolyzed collagen, around 10 to 15 grams a day, show real benefits for joints, skin, and bone. And about 3 grams of glycine before bed has been shown to improve sleep quality. You can't build repair molecules without the bricks. Third, protect your sleep, because deep sleep is the master repair window. That's when your body does its most active signaling and rebuilding. Consistent bedtime, a dark, cool room, magnesium glycinate if it helps. No supplement on earth beats the repair work your body does while you're unconscious. So, does the hypothesis hold that your body makes its own repair compounds and that supporting those pathways can accelerate healing without synthetic drugs? Based on what we've seen, the endogenous biology is real. The lifestyle levers are legitimate, and the human evidence for the fancy peptides is still catching up. I'd say it holds as a working strategy with honest humility about what we don't know yet. If you want to go deeper, I've written a free article on all of this over at adaptivephysiology.com. The full research, the citations, and the step-by-step guide. And if you're ready for the real deep end, our membership takes you into the full political story and a case study I think you'll find eye-opening. But here's the thing I want you to walk away with. You are not a passive passenger in your own healing. Your body has been trying to repair itself this whole time. Maybe the smartest thing we can do is get out of its way and give it what it needs. I'll see you in the next one.